Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Marcus and today I'm going to share with you how to design this poster inside Adobe Illustrator. So let's go. So the first thing we want to do is create a new document. So let's go. I'm going to just make a copy before I do that of this poster here so I can drag to my new document. Now let's make a new document. I'm going to use a 1700 by 2400 pixels in RGB mode and just press create. Cool. So let's just paste my old poster here. Sorry for the zoom. I'm just gonna make it here, scale it down a little bit. I just want it for reference while I'm designing elements. And let's go. So the first thing, when I'm doing a poster with a lot of elements like this, I like to create a grid to help myself. So the grid will help me with margins and positions of the elements. And the way I like to do grids in Illustrator is just go into the toolbar here, get a rectangle grid tool. And then let's just zoom in into the artboard, and with the grid selected again, let's just make a nice grid like this. And as you can see, we only have like 9 squares, and the way to increase that, I like to use the arrows on the keyboard, like up and down. You can increase the number of dividers horizontally, and then if you right and left, you can increase the number of squares. So this way you can make a really nice custom grid very quick. So with my grid done, I'm going to go to view, and then I think it's window, no, it's view, and then guides, and then I'm gonna make guides. So I don't want to have this grid as an element for now, because if it's like an element, a vector element, I'll be probably like moving it, dragging it around, and just make it guides helps us. And then you can actually turn it on and off all the time, which is very nice when you're designing. So let's go. The first element we're going to design is going to be the text elements. For that, I'm going to just get at the text tool first, and then I'm going to write something like masd.lab. Let's just scale this up so you can actually see it. And I'm going to change the font to Helvetica. New, let's just find it. And medium, yeah, medium. And then I'm going to make the text all caps like this. I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to write channel. This is a self-promotion to my YouTube channel, as you can see. Cool. Now I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to make a nice rectangle around the text. Right click, arrange it into the back. Make my text white so I can actually see it. And yeah, I'm going to use the same rectangle. I'm holding Alt to make a copy. I'm going to use the same rectangle, send it into the back, change the text to white as well, and just going to align it. Now let's just position the rectangles behind our text really nicely, like this, just making sure it's like the text in a nice position. We don't need the rectangle on the channel bit, it's too wide, so I'm going to just scale it down on the side, like this. Perfect. Now I'm going to group these two texts. Select the text element and the rectangle element, right click and then group them. And then let's just zoom out really quick. I'm gonna make a copy. I like to make copies just holding Alt and then just dragging the elements. It creates automatic copy. And if you hold Alt and Shift, you can actually create an element and you can actually direct it very nicely. So you actually go like in a straight line instead of just like very loose. Let's just select these two, and now what I'm going to do now is make a few more copies. I'm going to use the blend tool for this. I'm going to select these two elements, and then I'm going to object, blend, and then make. And you can see make a new copy using the blend tool, and then we'll go to the toolbar here, double click on the blend tool so you can actually open the blend options. Then let's choose specified steps, and let's just increase the number of steps really quickly until we have a nice number, creating this really nice repetition effect. I think I'm going to leave it 5. And then I'm going to select this text here. And then I'm going to arrange it to bring to the front, so the text is facing the other direction. I hope this is making sense. I'm probably speaking a little bit fast because I really want to make this tutorial as quick as I can. I don't want to be a very long tutorial. So this is also grouped. We're going to do the same thing here, make a copy, select them both, and then go to Object, Blend, and then Make. Let's just join this together a little bit, and then let's go to the Blend tool on the toolbar here, change it to specified steps, change it to 5 copies as well. And let's just move it a little bit closer, like this. So just this effect is really cool. I really like how just a simple rectangle and text and the blend tool together make such a nice visual. Now you're gonna place this text in our artboard here. I'm gonna position vertically. Something's going on. I'm gonna just turn off my guides for a little bit, turn them on again, and then I'm just gonna position. I'm gonna scale this a little bit until I go like to the side. I want to leave one of these squares empty, but let's just keep scaling until we find like a nice scale. Keep scaling until we find a nice scale. That's my motto. Keep scaling until you find a nice composition for us. Kinda happy with the size. It's probably not the same size of the example, but I'm actually even enjoying just with a white background. It looks really nice. I'm gonna make a black background because I'm probably enjoying the white background too much. Gonna make sure it's the same size of our artboard, and then right click and set it to the back. I'm gonna select the background as well. I'm gonna press Ctrl or Command 2 to lock the layer. So this way the layer is locked here, and there is no way we can move it around. Cool. Our text elements are done. Now we're gonna do these really small elements here. I can see we're gonna have a little bit more space than we had before. For some reason, I think I probably made the scale a little bit bigger. But let's work with what we have. We're not gonna be exactly the same one, but I'm gonna show you the exact same techniques I used. So let's go back here. Let's start with this element on the top here. I'm gonna go back to the grid tool. I'm just gonna get my guidelines to help me here. I'm gonna make a nice grid, but this time the grid still has the same number of vertical and horizontal lines. I just want to reduce it, so I'm gonna just reduce it a little bit, so I don't have very noisy grid there. It's hard to see it. I don't know if it's been hard to see it there too, but yeah. Then I'm just gonna press D, so it goes to black and white. And then I'm gonna remove the black on the stroke and make the stroke white. Yeah. Hopefully this is making sense. And cool, we have like this nice graphic here, and then let's just add some more elements. Actually, I use way less elements there. Maybe I should do the same. And I kind of like the way this is looking with a little bit more definition. It's because here we had a little bit less space than we have here. So I'm probably gonna go with this one. Sorry. And I'm just going to add these numbers. So I had to 2023, which is the year I made this tutorial. I don't know when you are watching this, so hopefully it will be in this year. Gonna make it again new text, change the text to light weight of the typography, and then gonna make it white, and then create outlines. Am I going too fast? I'm feeling I'm going really fast, but I think I'm explaining myself while I'm going. Gonna put the numbers in these random squares here, something like this, and okay, I made a mistake. I should scale this down together so I keep the same size of the scales in every element. So I'm gonna distribute these numbers randomly in this nice grid that we have here. It looks like a Sudoku kind of situation happening, which is fun. So I'm gonna make another grid there. I'm gonna get the grid tool here, and then I'm gonna make another nice grid just to add a little bit more detail. Just press D for black and white default, and then remove the stroke, make the stroke white there. That's cool. I have some gradients happening here with some circles and rectangles again. Just gonna make a nice circle. Oh, I'm gonna go to the ellipse tool and then holding Alt and Shift. No, I was just holding Shift and Alt actually. Alt keeps me scaling from the center, which is great when you're trying to make a nice circle. Sorry, not square. And then we have a square there as well. Let's just make the square here. and then make it, just apply the gradient as well on the fill. Let's just remove the stroke, apply the gradient on the fill. Let's leave it as it is, like that. I'm gonna send it backwards, arrange it send to the back, but not as far away as the background. Let's just see. Yes, it's like here, will be alright. I just went to the layers manager here because it's easier to sometimes remove the layers by there. Anyway, so the circle is here. We're gonna just copy the same gradient. Let's change it to radial and then edit the radial gradient really quickly. Move this layer, which is here, to under here. And yeah, actually it's looking, actually I probably like this one I'm doing right now more than the one I did before. And yeah, let's just make this kind of like, there was like a little bar there, like white bar. And it's pretty much there almost. Kind of like it. This has been like a very quick tutorial, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna make this next element here on the bottom here. Let's just get our guides back. And this time we're gonna use a polar grid tool. Let's make a nice polar grid tool. That's a name. So we're gonna, again, if you use the arrows, you can increase the numbers of lines inside and like on outside, which is really cool. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna make the stroke white so I can actually see it. I think the lines are a bit too thin, so we're gonna change the line weight to like 2 pixels. Nice. So we have a few other elements. We have a sphere and some blinks, like shiny things, and another basic circles. So let's just do this sphere here. So to make like this kind of globe spheres, like it's like a grid enveloped to a sphere. It's really easy to do it. I'm just trying to speak so fast. I'm actually not to make any sense probably. So I'm gonna use the ellipse tool here. I'm gonna make a nice ellipse. And again, I'm gonna use the rectangle grid tool. And I'm gonna actually increase the number of lines because I want this to have a nice definition and be very detailed. And then I'm gonna move this under. I'm gonna move it to the back. So our circle is above the grid. Then select them both, and then let's go to Object, and then go Envelop Distort, and make with top object. So that's it. He envelops the grid into the top object, which in this case was a circle. And it works really nice. I love this tool in Illustrator. Let's just put it here, somewhere in the middle. Let's try to find this middle though. Yeah, that's the grid here for us, helping us since day one. And then we have these little ellipses happening there. Let's just make it, get the ellipse tool again, make it really quick, and bam. Why is this not full white? Okay, this is trying to make it full white. I've noticed it wasn't full white, it was like some sort of gray. Then just gonna make some distributions here, just like this, a few more, just to add a little bit more story to our poster. Something like this. I'm holding Alt, by the way. That's how I'm making these copies. Just holding Alt and then just dragging them around and trying to match them to these little corners. Cool. We have some elements there. Let's apply this dome situation here. And with that, I'm gonna go back to the rectangle tool. Let's just get our guides back. And let's see where the dome starts. I'm gonna start the dome from here and then go to the edge here. And then I'm gonna go to the corners and make them fully round. And yes, we're gonna apply a gradient from black to white and move the gradient position to be like from the dark to white, so the top part is the whitest part. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I really think I shouldn't be doing this tutorial, but if I don't do it, I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. So yes, I think I need to practice more doing these tutorials. That's why I'm doing this one, even though I'm Probably not feeling 100%, but I think it's done is better than perfect. So yeah. So the DOM is done. Sorry for my little conversation part now. And then I'm just cheating. I was just like making a copy from there. So the DOM is done, and now we're gonna make these little shiny bits. And let's go. We have a few more details there, like little squares and circles. We can do that later. So let's go back to our ellipse tool, make a nice ellipse. And then let's go to Effects, Distort and Transform, and let's go to Pucker and Bloat. And let's make it minus 95. Oh no, minus 95. So it makes a really nice sharp shine. And then you can just make it around our elements, giving it a little bit of post-production value, making it very shiny. And this is pretty much it on these elements there. I'm just gonna make the squares there. I'm gonna use the rectangle tool again to draw some really nice squares. This is mostly for detail. They don't have like any specific meaning, but it kind of adds so much a very nice detail to your graphics. So I highly recommend doing this. And yeah, like a few circles as well. And let's go circle, circle. And I'm just gonna make a circle here, maybe a little bit bigger. It's nice to introduce some variation of in scales of the elements. If you're having like a lot of elements, just doesn't get too boring. When you add a little bit of variation, it makes things a little bit more interesting. And yeah, I actually enjoyed. I know this was a very turbulent tutorial. We don't need this anymore. I'm actually gonna use this one for a thumbnail. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please do this poster, and if you do it and you post on social media, please be sure to tag me. I love to see your posters. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Have a nice day. See ya.